I always look so pale with these lights on. I literally have a tan right now too. Anywho, what is up, you guys? Welcome to another episode, or welcome to Passenger Princess, where we talk about self-care and mental health in unconventional ways. And I stress the unconventional part because we are passenger princesses and I like to encourage unique and original thought. I don't really like to walk on eggshells. I tell it how it is, and that's how I am in my real life, and that's how I've kind of translated it into this podcast. And yeah, some of these episodes are a bit much. Sometimes it rubs people the wrong way, and sometimes people love it, but I feel like it's authentically me. So what is up, you guys? You're now tuned in to Passenger Princess, the one and only source for finding your self-worth. You want to know how to play the game? Let me tell you, baby, we're here to play. And everybody's gonna think I'm a bad bitch, I'm a passenger princess, I'll do anything. Everybody does things for me. I'm going to try my best to form a cadence where it's just like a weekly episode where I'm able to upload that. So make sure, if you're listening to this audio only, to, leave a review, leave a rating. Also, if you're watching on YouTube, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. But let's get into it. So last episode, I talked about Love is Blind. The new season hadn't dropped yet. You guys ate that up, and I had a couple people say that they enjoyed my perspective on the entire situation and the show. So if you haven't watched that episode, definitely go check it out before you watch this one. But this one is going to have spoilers in it. So if you haven't watched the newest season of Love is Blind, I would urge you to maybe come back to this after you've watched the newest season, because I don't want to ruin it for anybody. But I have a lot of thoughts on the new season and the reunion that they had, that we always know that they are coming out with, but also all of the stuff that has been coming out, the allegations, the speculations, and then just my thoughts on the show as a whole. Because let me tell you, what I predicted in the first part of these episode series, I don't know if I would call them a series, but the last episode that I talked about Love is Blind before this new season came out, I'm like a psychic, okay? Everything that I predicted, everything that I said somehow came true. So I know what I'm talking about. Let me recap this season and then let me get into my thoughts on the entire situation, because I love reality TV, but I think this day and age, it's just getting hella confusing for all of us. And yeah, we need to take a step back and kind of reflect. So this season only had 2 couples. First of all, this was a waste of a season. Waste of a budget from Netflix's production end. Waste of marketing. Waste of an opportunity. Waste of a lot of stuff. So I feel they played it a little bit safe, and they could have definitely done more. The drama was heavy. The drama was not good. But they only had 2 couples that ended up together, and they only showed the progress and the experimenting impacting 2 couples, which is insane to think about, that they came in with the same amount of people into the experiment, into the pods, and somehow only 4 people were aired onto the show, which I know there were more couples and there were more areas of opportunity of building out storylines, but they chose not to go down that route. And I'm not exactly sure why. There's even been a couple of things on TikTok circulating where, someone named Renee, she was on the show, and I think she actually did get engaged to a contestant on Love is Blind. I don't even know who it is, but literally they didn't show their storyline at all. They didn't talk about her at all, which is so strange. She just kind of showed up to the fitting as Lydia's friend, but we're all speculating whether there was something more to that. And she actually did get engaged and possibly even, maybe made it to the altar, but didn't make the cut, which is crazy, because why would you only have 2 couples on a reality show about married couples? You're trying to test if Love is Blind, and then you go through all these couples and you only end up with 2, and then out of the 2, only 1 got married and stayed together. It's, I don't know, kind of a waste of a season. That's just my perspective. But let's get into the nitty gritty of the Uche, Lydia, and Aaliyah situation. And maybe a sprinkling of Milton, because that guy he's like a genius, but he's also a psychopath. So the whole allegation of basically Lydia knowing that Uche had come onto the show and basically followed him onto that show. And then the speculation of whether, this was premeditated or they had planned it. My perspective is, I don't know if I've heard a lot of people talking about this perspective. I honestly feel like they secretly talked about it when they were together and they were like, hey, you know what? We are breaking up, but there's an opportunity here for us to go onto a reality show and get really famous. Let's both apply and let's create drama. Maybe not the whole thing was planned, but part of it, I feel, was premeditated and already planned before they even joined the show. And Netflix is kind of trying to go along all hush-hush about it because the producers actually knew about the situation and knew that Lydia had met Uche, had met one of the contestants on the show before, and kept it quiet. Literally, I was shocked. I didn't know this for some reason until the reunion. I had a hunch, but I didn't know until the reunion that the producers specifically said, hey, Lydia, hey, Uche, you guys can't talk about it, that you know each other until, it's an appropriate time. So they basically went through the experiment. They knew each other, and the producers specifically told them, don't tell anybody that you guys know each other, which the whole point of this is so that you guys are anonymous. Love is blind. You don't know the other person. You're trying to get to know the person without seeing this person. Two of the contestants, two of the main cast, there's only four people in this main cast. Two of them already knew each other. And the producers on purpose told them to not mention it until like the very end or closer to the end when it was appropriate time, which is so sus. Like maybe again, it was like blurring the lines between reality TV and reality itself and trying to really sell this point of like, yes, we are a reality TV show, but these couples are real. These couples exist. Like they have lives outside of the show and it's not just for drama. So maybe that was their intention, but it kind of backfired because we caught on real quick and we were like, okay, you can't possibly think that we are fools, right? Like, so again, like, did they plan it and the producers kind of planned it with them like this character? Are they playing, some sort of person on the TV show, but behind closed doors, behind the scenes, there's somebody else? We never know. And that always blurs the lines. I hate that. I feel like if you're watching a reality TV show, you should feel like you're watching a reality TV show and you should not feel like you're being punked. But we also didn't get any answers. Uche didn't join the reunion, which I thought was super sus. Probably the producers telling him, don't come on the show. There's going to be too many questions. They also left Lydia hella alone about the situation. I mean, I would say like pretty much in the past, any of the reunion, all of the questions that we have, we get answered. They are grilled. Let me tell you, they air everything out. I still remember a couple seasons ago when they aired out like, unedited or like behind the scenes clips that didn't make it into the actual show. They didn't make the cut, but they were recording and they used to air it during the reunion. And somehow Uche didn't join, nor did they ask the really grilling personal questions about the entire situation. Covering the backs, covering their butts as a whole, the production company, Netflix as a brand, each person so that they don't get hated on, I guess. But like, it honestly, like, it just puts into perspective of like how much drama we are willing to watch, but simultaneously are willing to just kind of accept and like, put on our glasses and just be like, oh yeah, this is the situation. These are the contestants. This is what happened. And we're idiots. And we just have to go along with it and pretend as though like we don't have any follow-up questions when in fact we have a shit ton. Because let me tell you, I literally watched this reunion and I was like, this didn't answer anything that I had. And I still hate Uche and partially Lydia. And what the heck? Like, you didn't rectify the situation. It also makes me question the casting process. It's supposed to be, I guess, like anonymous or people, like coming onto the show. But this sort of, again, makes me think that it is premeditated. They are going through the list. I talked about this in my last episode, but even, with Harry Jowsey, he wanted to stand out. So he sent in nudes and he was like very, out there, but his personality in real life might not be this character. I do feel like they cast characters. I don't think they cast people. So in this case, they needed a villain, they needed a victim, they needed a hero, they needed other drama, they needed like multiple characters that needed to be cast, and somehow they found a storyline with two people that knew each other out of the pods, enter the pods, and oh my god, we didn't know that we were both signing up for Love is Blind, and just casually show up. It made me think that the casting and the talent, whoever was in charge of picking out the cast and picking out the talent, they knew about the situation and they were just trying to fill out the characters. I guess it kind of makes sense, but the fact that we're still talking about it and we're still mad about it, they probably did their job. I mean, and this is definitely not unique to the situation. I think like social media only makes it worse. And if you think about any social media influencers or, well-known people on social, a lot of them have started out very similarly. If you think about like Summer Rae, like she obviously had an Instagram that already had some amount of following in the audience that she wanted to build out. I can't say it outright because I don't want this video to get flagged, but Summer Rae basically bought an Instagram handle that was owned by I'm going to bleep it out, and yeah, she built her following on that, and because her content kind of similarly fell onto the content that was already established on that account, it worked out. So I find it extremely funny that, we see this and we still give them value, we still give them attention. Same thing with like any amount of Nepo babies. Honestly, same thing with like people like Charli D'Amelio. I truly don't believe that, Charli was randomly got big. I think something happened behind the scenes that we just didn't know about, because that's the way the industry is. We see it with, Alex Earl, with Call Her Daddy, Alex Cooper. Time and time again, we do see these people that are cast into this role that has been created by a media company or by, other agencies or production companies. So similarly, I wouldn't be surprised if they were like literally looking for this exact scenario. If maybe Netflix's writing team sat down and was like, what would be interesting to just spice it up this season? If two people that knew each other outside of the pods actually met in the pods, and let's see how that works out. And then they cast and they found these two people, or they purposefully were looking for these people. I don't know. We will never know as audience members. But I think they actually did need this because the season was pretty shitty. They relied on the storyline to keep it going. So I wouldn't be surprised if it was all premeditated. Which brings me to something that I just learned. I talked about in my last episode, this lawsuit that, was put against Netflix for just kind of malpractice, and just not treating the contestants great. Basically they were hired as contractors, and there was a lot of drama behind that, with kind of unfairly treating the contestants. We don't know. I asked the question in that episode of whether we even can, properly think of the lawsuit as an actual lawsuit. By that I mean, is this real? Like we're talking about reality TV. We're talking about everything being fake and premeditated. That was the lawsuit in itself premeditated? Like, was this a contestant that didn't get the fame that they wanted and decided to build a case out of it and try to get some amount of limelight on them? Or was this, a PR move for this contestant? Was this for more attention on Netflix? We will literally never know. But what the interesting thing is, another lawsuit came out. And this time it was a little bit more serious. So this lawsuit, I have it up here. It's by somebody, a contestant that was not part of the season. I guess they went through the experience, but they didn't make the cut. Named Tran Dang. Now, I don't know if this is like actually this person's name, an anonymous name, suing for alleged sexual assault during the shooting of the show, that is an allegation that you cannot come back from. Like this is a situation that if you're willing to put your backbone, your butt behind, you better be 100% sure that this is actually what happened. It's like pushing the boundary a little bit, like you don't say stuff like that It's like the Me Too movement, right? Like if these victims are coming out to explain their stories and to be heard so that, we don't have future victims of similar misdemeanors, but you can't say something like that and then it just be like taken away. It's not a situation like the last lawsuit where it was like, we weren't given water. This is serious. So then this also puts into question again, is this real? Like I grew up with the YouTuber era. I grew up with, pranks on YouTube. I grew up with challenges. I grew up with Logan and Jake Paul. Like I was in high school when they were making those extreme videos and trying to one-up each other, trying to, each of the pranks have to like one-up each other. David Dobrik. Let's talk about that. David Dobrik, literally every video has to take it a step further until he literally almost killed Jeff Wittick, which I feel like is a universally known thing. If you didn't know, David Dobrik is a huge social media star. He's known for creating 4-minute videos on YouTube, and he created the Vlog Squad where he films with his friends. And they're fake. They're scripted. They're 4-minute videos that they just kind of, they want to create that glamorous life, a music video, and it's not real. But that being said, a lot of the pranks or challenges or situations that happen in the vlogs, they are real. And his downfall was when he actually did some sort of, I don't even know if I want to get into this. You can look it up. He basically almost killed somebody by taking this guy up on a crane, seeing how fast they could move this guy. It was just a whole thing. It's been huge for a couple of years now. Big lawsuit against him. Reason I bring this up is because we didn't cancel David. Not only that, David ramped it up until this situation happened. So you kind of like, I grew up in that era. I grew up thinking what I watch, I know isn't real. Consciously, I am aware that what I'm watching is not real. This 4-minute video is not real. Jake Paul hitting someone is not real. This person having beef with someone is not real. PR relationships. I'm even questioning Taylor and Travis now because it's like, I grew up in that era. Are they real? Are they not real? Is this just a marketing scheme to get Travis more deals? Is it just to get, the NFL more coverage? We literally cannot know. But I grew up with the YouTuber era questioning everything. So this makes me question this lawsuit as well. Are we just at this time where with Love is Blind in particular, but also just reality TV in general, each lawsuit, are we going to ramp it up? The first one was against practices that were not okay. The next one is sexual assault. How do you go up from here? Is each one going to just be higher and higher until we reach a point where it's like we're blasting Netflix, we're blasting Love is Blind, not to take away from this person's like pain, because if this person's actually a victim, that's horrible. And, I really want this to come to light, but everything is being shoved under a rug. I can't tell if it's a PR stunt. But this show is on its last leg. In my eyes, it's on its downfall. There are too many negative things happening surrounding this show. I feel like it is only natural that they need to address it. Netflix's PR got to get on this. It is not right. It is not okay to kind of continue as is, show must go on mentality. I think later, or whether it's now, whether it's later, whether it's next season, whether it's another show, there will be a point where the audience breaks and it's gonna blow up. Like, it doesn't matter if it's Love is Blind, it doesn't matter if it's Too Hot to Handle, it doesn't matter if it's like any of the other new reality shows that they're coming out with, which they're going to, because like I said in my last episode, they're the new MTV. I mean, this is the future of TV, especially with the strike and everything going on. This is the future of the TV. But that being said, they gotta watch their backs. And yeah, I feel like this was a lot again for this episode. And this was just thoughts after watching the show. I honestly did not enjoy it at all. I would say I enjoyed season 1 to 3, and then it sort of like started to go downhill. And this was the worst season that they came out with, and I don't know how it aired. The biggest thing from Love is Blind 2 or any Netflix reality show is that you see these social media, you see these people blow up on social media. I have seen nobody on social. No one. There has been no person from Love is Blind that has organically blown up on social media. And maybe that's why, there are things like the lawsuits. Maybe that is why the drama is so much more intense, is because maybe these people are just not social media friendly. And maybe Netflix just needs to do like a better casting process, more regimented, more thorough, to see if these people that can play these characters can ultimately be translated onto, social media or onto other screens or off the screens. Because part of the hype of their reality shows was translating onto social, like if you think about any Too Hot to Handle member, Eric Jowsey is on Dancing with the Stars. He's the talk of the nation. You're giving a full funnel of marketing effort here with one person. So maybe they just need to do a better job with casting, finding people that are more suited for social media, but can also fit the characters, because everyone in the past two seasons have been extremely unlikable. I don't watch anybody on social. I don't like them. I don't follow them. I don't want to follow them. I'm not interested in the show anymore. And I'm pretty sure that a lot of people feel the same way. The headline for this season is "We hate it." If you just Google Love is Blind, every single headline is "Love is Blind is terrible. The season sucks. What happened this season? It is just horrible." So I guess it's a downfall of the show, and something has to be done. But those were my thoughts of the new season. My camera died for audio only, folks, so I'm doing my outro on my phone. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I will definitely do another one if you want to, or if you're feeling it and you like my thoughts on Love is Blind, reality TV, Netflix, or I can switch it up. I have an array of episode ideas that I want to get out anyway. Like I said, I'm going to try to make this a weekly cadence, so definitely subscribe, follow, leave a rating, a comment, review below, because I would definitely appreciate it, and I would love constructive criticism as well as positive feedback. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed my streamline of thoughts. Go listen to another episode, and yeah, peace.